Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is your girl Ray P back for another episode of We Got Y'all. Of course, I am not here alone. I am joined by my amazing co-host, friend, road dog, silent killer. Will make something shake if you have to. Kyron Richardson, aka K Rich. What's going on, friend?
Hey, if you know what I did, then you should know what I'm capable of. You hear me?
Period.
You should know what I'm capable of. Man, what's going on, Rachel? How you feeling?
Under the weather.
Understood. Understood. I
Hopefully
hope you
we
get
make it
better.
through. Yeah, thank
I
you.
hope you get better
Hopefully we
soon. It's weather is crazy in general right now. It was 70 degrees 3 days ago,
for
and I
sure.
woke up. It's 26 degrees with snow. Um, Global warming, y'all. We cooked. Apparently there was a meteor that went off near the area. Most of
Cleveland.
Cleveland heard a boom. Yeah, man. It's a lot of conspiracy theories going on about what the sound actually was. Once
Right.
again, do what y'all want to, y'all. Do what y'all want to, because obviously
It's
it's a free for all in this world. Just do what you want.
not when you're in times.
We in
Not
end times, man. Like when I remember, Rachel and myself were just talking about Jay-Z. I remember when Watch the Throne came out, the Otis
when-
song. I remember Funk Master Flex was on radio and he said, if you want a bodega or corner store, just put your hand in the cash register right now. Like he was just saying all types of goofy shit like that you shouldn't be doing. But that's how I feel. Just do it. Just do it. Let's see what's gonna happen.
I mean, at this current juncture, you low key might as well.
Hey, we
But
we
don't
a
say
few
I
hey
encourage illegal.
we a few months away from being in paradise, looking for the bunker. So just
Hey,
that's what it feels like.
all right. All right.
Art imitates life, man. But welcome everyone.
For
Rachel
sure.
told y'all last week, stay subscribed to this feed. We back. We got y'all. Season 2, episode 6, Paradise, streaming on Hulu. There will be spoilers. There will be explicit content. We might cuss a little bit, but it's gonna be all right. We're gonna get through this conversation. Um, Rachel, I know we talked about doing the What's Ray's watching. I think the game plan is probably going to be us finishing Paradise. For those of you who are fans of the Culture Garden, thank you for that. Culture Garden's on a break until we finish up. We'll be back in the first week of April, um, like the 9th, 8th or 9th or something like that.
For sure.
But until then, we'll be doing Culture Garden. And once we finish Paradise, we'll get together one weekend and put down a list of what we've been watching for the first quarter, maybe even the
For sure.
last quarter of 2025, so people can get caught up. People always hit me up asking for a good show to watch, and I say, you need to talk to Rachel about that.
But Rachel
So
her messages.
the Rachel don't check her messages, so here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Rachel, episode 6, titled Jane, was directed by Lisa Johnson, written by Nadra Widatala, if I'm saying her name correctly. The synopsis: Xavier and Gary set their plan in motion. Back in Paradise, Sinatra takes action, while Gabriella follows a new lead and Jane's past is revealed. We only got 2 more episodes after this week, Rachel. I want to know, what were your opening thoughts as we got into episode 6?
So you were really excited last week about finding out Jane's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
It was a
too
little.
was
It was a little under. It was a little underwhelming. I ain't gonna hold you.
it was a little underwhelming. I too was curious on Jane's background, but what we got is Jane is special, as to which we can see, but as in before she was even born, this random ass black man, all these files was downloading the conspiracy theorists on this baby being born at 12:01, and she would be a killer. Shout out to Prophecy. Um, Jane's born. We watched her mother angrily birth her, demand her out of the womb, out of utero. And she's been a hellion ever since, essentially. We watched Jane grow up with an imaginary friend at like 12.
Yeah.
Um, Hearing voices. Clearly there's some mental issues there. Maybe even an arrested development. Shout out to whatever that show is, Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, Child's
With
Reasonable
the
Doubt.
Arrested Development. Jane's crazy as fuck. Long story short,
Okay.
and has been that way from birth. We got to see her, like I said, be born, be a troubled child, go through secret service training slash secret agent, do a little
But it,
more training.
yeah,
But if you've seen any episode of Lioness, you know that Jane fits the profile for these snipers, essentially, these stone cold unalivers who,
you you know what show I thought of when I saw that scene?
ooh, what?
Agency. Think about old girl in Agency because she had
I
exactly
didn't,
the same scene.
for
Trying to like
sure,
you didn't know if it was real, but then you find out it's a training course.
for
She's trying to
sure.
get it done. Like I was like, oh okay. Shout out to the
That's
agency.
it.
It'll be back
Shout out to
soon.
the
We
agency.
we got y'all original.
We got y'all original. We one of the few shows we catch in season one. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
think of the agency at all. That's crazy. I did immediately go to Lioness, but maybe because I just went through a Taylor Sheridan, uh, dare I say, binge recently.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I said all of that and didn't say anything, but Jane didn't really give us anything. I did not learn anything about her that I didn't low key already suspect because I've seen the agency, because I've seen Lioness and whatever other show. When we think about the training that these psyops people go under, usually are crazy as hell. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but they usually have some sort of mental issues, social issues, you know what I'm saying, where they're not necessarily, I don't want to say a part of society, but a part of society in the same way. Um, Whatever quote unquote normal means. Usually, these people, these trained killers, the people with the special skills, are usually a bit off. So, no surprise there.
Yeah. So
That's it. It was
you
no surprise there for me.
yeah, no, you said that perfectly because the reason I was excited about finding more about Jane's character is because she
Mhm.
is so heinous. I mean, she is so cold and calculated, and I wanted to kind of see was there a specific event that tied to that, or
Mhm.
is she just out here 12 years old with imaginary friends named Climby?
She
It could
probably
be that simple, but I was expecting for her to be that kind of character. I wanted a little bit more. Now, when you think of the kind of premise or the preamble episodes, when you come to
Mhm.
like Billy and the origin stories, I guess those episodes didn't necessarily give you a lot, but you just liked the character more.
Yeah.
Like you understood that Billy shot his dad, he did juvie, you
Mhm.
know, what kind of thing he was. It still didn't give you outside of this May 29th, 1997 Circus City dude
Yeah.
stalking the hospitals for babies born at 12:01 on June 6th.
Yeah.
Was this? Let me ask you this: is there anything to that other than nature versus nurture, and just trying to see if there's any? Obviously, there's nothing that could tell anybody that there's going to be a killer born at this time. But
Mhm.
since mom got that message, you think she was raised differently because of that message, or do you think she was just kind of cooked from the beginning when we saw her pleading for this baby to be pushed out of her? Like,
I,
was Jane cooked from the start?
yeah, I think she
I think
was.
so too.
Her mother didn't give, even in delivery, and obviously I don't have children, but we know that it is painful. It was something about the way that she was demanding her out of her body that it felt like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this might not go well. And then you couple that with this random strange man accosting you outside of labor and delivery. You know what I'm saying? So, two things are true. And I think because of that, that was insult to industry, insult to injury. So now I've got this baby that maybe I don't want, because where's the father?
I think. I think that's real quick. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think Jane was cooked either way because the only time for affection was right before the guy
Mm-hmm.
came up. When she was kind of holding Jane, then he came
Yeah.
up and did his spiel. But when you think about the scene of mom telling Jane that dinner's ready, you
Mm-hmm.
live in a pretty nice house, from what I could
Yeah.
tell. You had a steam room or a sauna in the
Mhm.
backyard. That baby shouldn't be eating TV frozen dinners. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that just screams to me you don't care about this girl, which to your point, probably didn't want her to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure between the time that guy came and accosted her, as you mentioned, and when we see that flash forward, so much has probably happened where she's like, damn, like these kids, like fuck these kids. Like I
Fuck
ain't even
these
want you
kids.
for real.
Exactly. It's giving one and done. And so here now Jane is with an
March
imaginary
Madness.
friend. March Madness. Here Jane is with an imaginary friend, a little off her rocker and looking for a mother figure. And I think that is who Sinatra is. The same way I almost turned it up on my mama in that sauna, it's the same way I'm gonna turn it up on you if you try me. But for all intents and purposes, I am still, no matter what, looking for that nurturing, looking for that nod of approval, the same way she did for Ryan Michelle Bathet's character as her
Officer, her lead officer.
officer. Yeah. So I'm looking for a
It,
mother figure. I'll do whatever I can, whatever I have to do. If you play me, whatever I want to do. But no, I'm still, I'm in this for you, girl.
part of me, part of me would have respected things more if I didn't want to see this. But if the character let her mom and that dude cook, I
Hmm.
kind of would have, it would have given me a little bit more understanding of Jane's character. You already had Billy kill his dad in his backstory, so I don't know if you do that twice with both of these people. It might be a little bit redundant. But I just wanted that defining moment other than mommy issues to
Yeah.
show me why Jane is the way she is, and I didn't really get it. I
Hmm.
did like the Ryan Michelle Bathe
For sure.
conversation and kind of that backstory because it at least gives you, and we see some of that with Sinatra this episode.
Hmm.
Jane is seeking for that motherly figure.
Absolutely.
We see her be cold when she comes to Sinatra's house in the morning, and she's
Hmm.
telling the guards, fuck around and find out, pretty much. But we also see that soft side when we see Sinatra hugging her daughter and Jane
Yeah.
looking, wishing that she had that, or
Longingly.
Jane. Yeah, absolutely. And Jane telling her, that was, I'll take the long way to the meeting. That
Hmm.
way you're late is more of a power move. And she gets
Hmm.
complimented from Sinatra. And you see that look on her face like, wow, I got a compliment from an
Yeah.
authority figure. We see that with Officer Thomas in the episode when she gets compliments. I think something specifically along the lines of, I think you're incredibly special. And I'm sorry that nobody ever told you that. We see, and
Hmm.
now we know why that we means so much to her.
Yeah.
And so
For sure.
there's little moments there, but Jane is just a stone cold killer. I also just feel, does Jane really like that for real? In other words, somebody could have taken out Jane. Hey, she's just unassuming, which is why her greatest
Which
strength
is
is
her
she's unassuming.
power. For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Because did we talk about this last week? Did you see the Billy thing happening? Did you see her being the one to take Billy out when you first saw it?
No.
I didn't either. I had one
No.
person tell me that him and his wife saw it, like
Hmm.
they assumed it, and I'm like, all right, but I didn't at all. Like my first watch, I was like, oh shit, Jane.
I I don't want to say couldn't have, but I didn't and wouldn't have predicted Jane being the one to take Billy out, especially after knowing that they were intimate partners.
Yeah. Um, I don't know, man. That lunatic in the parking lot was right about you. That's got to be rough to hear as a kid, and she's probably heard that numerous
Once you have
times
heard it,
growing
you took
up.
the words. You took the
Like,
words. You've heard this my whole entire life.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm fucked up.
Um,
I'm a killer. I already wasn't wanted, and I have this hanging over my head. Please, there's no chance.
when we get to see between Jane and Sinatra in Sinatra's
Hmm.
office,
Hmm.
when Sinatra pretty much tells her, "Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm terrified of you. I really am. But you're the only person left. That's a great way to start a conversation, right?
For sure.
You're the only person left down here that knows all my secrets. So I kind of need you, and I need to know what you meant by "you're no good to me if you're dead."
Yeah.
And Jane immediately picks up on the "hey, I thought you forgot it." Well, it came back. Jane gave a story of, well, I've been a weapon my entire life. I've been a killer. That's who I am. People I admire, they tell me to do things and I do it. Like, if I don't have that here, then I'm useless. Do you believe that, or do you think Jane is playing the game of I'm gonna make you feel like you're more important than what you are to Sinatra?
Again, two things can be true. Two things can be true. I think there is a part of Jane that is desperately seeking approval from somebody she quote unquote admires, uh, a maternal figure, a higher up, because I need that good job. I need that pat on the head because I didn't get it, you know? And also, as somebody who's a bit of a mastermind, manipulation is very easy. And it is a part of war. And now I may or may not be at war with you, just like everybody else.
You just made me think. That's a fantastic point. While Sinatra is powerful and has resources, Jane is trained. She's a trained killer and a trained strategist, manipulator, all of the above. Like, I can play. The only person that really can probably play that game with her is Dr. Gab.
Yeah.
As far as learning those tactics. But Sinatra is pretty much it's one of the few times we see Sinatra. I believed her when she was on edge. I believed her when she just didn't know what to do with Jane. I feel like Billy, she never had that issue. I feel like she never thought Billy could outsmart. Yeah, I know what you are. I know your secrets, and I know you have things to lose now. Jane doesn't have anything to lose. There's no holes you can poke.
Yeah.
That's gonna get her shook. I haven't seen Jane really shook at all once.
No.
But the interesting thing is she has no desire to really take things over. Like most characters like that, they're plotting on. They're like Jafar in Aladdin. They want to take everything over and just rule everything with the iron fist. Jane, to your point, Jane needs that direction. I just want to be the man next to the man. And that's what it comes down to.
Come on, Jafar.
Come on, Jafar. You know what I mean? Switch up everything.
Switch up everything. I love
gloomy
that.
when he got there, but let's talk a little bit about Jane and Officer. Go ahead.
Let me ask you, and I was going to ask you earlier, or maybe even last week. Do you think Sinatra truly forgot that Jane is who shot her and what happened?
Okay. Sinatra remembers everything. So I guess going against my point, Sinatra is playing it dumb to some degree, or was, and I think that comes from the fear. But I don't think there's anything she can do with that information. There's nobody she can turn to help her. Yeah. Dr. Gab would be the only person, but she told her in one of the past episodes, like,
we done.
Like, we got let it. We had good times. They are what they were, and we on.
Yeah.
So, and I think that now that she revealed that hand, Jane's like, okay, bet. All right, I see you. You do know more than I thought. Okay, I'm gonna keep an extra close eye on you.
Okay.
And now the daughter gonna get involved with it. So, because remember, all right, this is coming back to me. End of season 1, Jane has Presley, but not in a threatening way. Like she's had, I don't want to be alone right now. Please stay with me. Like manipulates her to stay with her, but I don't think she's going to do anything to a character like Presley or to a young girl because she sees a little bit of herself in that, maybe. And maybe she wants to be protective of it, which is why everything about Jane would say, by all means necessary, I'm going to go ahead and like hold her hostage if I need to. Or maybe it's about protecting her identity. About maybe I don't want to give up my card and I'm really the one behind all of this. I don't know.
Okay, now wait a minute. Because when Jane had Presley at the end of season 1 with that I don't want to be alone shit, that was an act.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. I think Jane didn't have to act. If Jane wanted to be on some nigga, I got your daughter. Hopefully she wouldn't say nigga. But if I got your daughter, Xavier, and I'm communicating this through Sinatra, I think it could have turned into that.
Okay.
But I don't think she would do anything to. I think she sees herself in young women and doesn't want them to go through the type of child. You don't? Okay.
Not at all. I think that was a tactic to get Presley to come with her, because Presley is none the wiser that of anything that's happening at this point. That was a tactic. Whatever this thing is with Hadley, I don't. Maybe she might look at her as a fake faux sister because she is looking at Sinatra like a parent, quote unquote. But I don't think she will put anything. I don't think that thought of the relationship between she and Sinatra will stop her from harming her daughter at all. She doesn't give a fuck. You probably should have let me keep the we.
Yeah, but she got her switch.
Deranged.
Which, how you get a switch? Got questions. Either way, I don't know. That's interesting. That's something we can look back on or kind of discuss as we go further. Part of me just thinks that she's, and the more I think about it, I think it's because she wants to keep her identity low. I think her power right now is nobody knowing that she's the one pulling the strings, except for Robinson, who tells Dr. Gab, as we see. But I don't know. She's so ruthless that you would think she would take all of these situations to her advantage. But as we mentioned, she is tactical. So maybe there's something else down the line that we'll see in these next 2 episodes.
For sure. For sure. She is tactical. And just to wrap it up, I do think that if Xavier and Sinatra were in a different situation, I don't think Presley would have been protected. I don't. I think if Xavier didn't have a drop, then Jane would have used that to her advantage.
Okay, I can buy that. I can buy that. I do want to talk a little bit about Jane's training.
For sure.
We see the character Radner. He's the guy that's kind of slapping her around, and you can tell he's a higher officer getting her trained and ready. And we see it's not going well for Jane. And we also learn her intelligence scores are through the roof or off the charts, but her psych evaluation, and the sentence wasn't even finished.
Yeah.
In other words, you nuts. Good son, Macaulay Culkin, good son type of energy. She just got some other shit going on. She doesn't mesh well with people, and that happens. That's life. Mm-hmm. And Jane said something happened to her as a baby, and sometimes she hears voices. And Officer Thomas is immediately like, you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to have to hear this. I don't want to put it in your file. I don't want to know that you hear voices. We ain't here for that. I just want to help you. She should have been booted from the program, right? Mm-hmm. At that moment, she should have been, I don't know about this.
But they're the kind of people they need.
Them exactly the type of people they need, which is why Billy was in a completely different program. He was in a special killers program or whatever. Yeah. But Jane could have easily been there as well. But Officer Thomas teaches Jane about the Stargate project and the non-traditional techniques for gathering intel. And we see meditation, and we see a montage of it working for Jane and her finding these different spots and being able to slow things down and see things differently from different perspectives. Mm-hmm. And she's getting better at her jobs, and she finally succeeds with Radner. We see her go to the edge. We see her finally get him. You can tell that pisses him off, like old school misogynist.
For sure.
And later on in the episode, we have a moment where Officer Thomas is telling Jane about this position that she wanted to go for. Mm-hmm. And that Radner is going for it as well. And he didn't even want to go for it until he found out she was gunning for it, which happens every single day. As they're having this conversation, Officer Thomas is pretty much like, listen, that's just how the way the world works. He got a dick. It is what it is. Like, the world is going to go his way. And we end up seeing Jane going to Radner's house and letting him know, hey, well, first we see her get upset because she really likes Officer Thomas.
For sure.
And she believes that she's qualified. So she goes to Radner, pull up and says, listen, I don't think you should get it. I don't think you should be going for this job, XYZ. Radner pretty much tells her to piss off. And we see her follow him into the house. We don't see anything happen, But we see her follow him to the house after he told her to go. And then later on, when Jane shows up at Officer Thomas's, she's a little bit shook. And when I say she, I mean Officer Thomas. You can tell she got some information. And Jane is like, Sunday dinner, what's up? She was like, oh, like I should have told you. You ain't hear about Radner? Radner's had to have emergency surgery. Immediately, not how was he doing? Oh, that's terrible. Does that mean you can get the promotion now?
Bruh, what?
I love the expression acting because you can see that right away. Like, huh? Like what you just said. What? Huh? Pardon me? You're not going to ask about how this man is doing at all, which lets me believe that you might know that this already happened.
Yeah.
They let her ask Jane, what's in the bag? You said that he was only going to get this because he has his dick. Well, that's not a problem anymore.
That's not a problem anymore.
Come on, man.
Bitch, what?
Now,
are you kidding me?
Now, a scene like this, let me just correct something I said earlier. A scene like this is passable for not having as much background information as I wanted on Jane. Because sometimes the information is you crazy.
And that's it.
Crazy.
And that's it.
Like that's it. Like that's something's wrong with you, and it doesn't matter what kind of explanation I get for it. Like I know that this is the end result. Are you scared? And I will definitely want to be on your good side before some real shit happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no concern. What's in the bag? Not an issue anymore. All of that. I'm trying to think of what else happened with Jane. Oh, the last thing with Jane I think that's worth mentioning is just her meeting with the militia. So we find out that Sinatra wants her to go out and negotiate terms. Well, first and foremost, we have the meeting. There's a board meeting where all the billionaires in Paradise, they find out that the second president has been murdered, which what's going on? Obviously, they're blaming Robinson for it. Sinatra plays the whole, this isn't a dictatorship. This needs to be a unanimous vote, knowing good and damn well she's going to do what she wants to do. But it is a power play. It is a power play. Let's make you all feel like you're involved. You all have a say. We don't know exactly what the plan is, but she does tell them, like, there's people outside our gate right now. Yeah. Like, so nobody's going to be worried about the president dying when we got this shit going on.
Facts.
Obviously, she gets a unanimous vote. She tells Jane that she wants her to be the one to go out and negotiate. You see Jane kind of lurking in the weeds. Speaking of Jafar, another lion looks like a lion. She looks like she just kind of scoping the scene. She's using those meditation methods, sees a target, goes out, knows they're not really there to bust off any guns, but she finds the one person who's going to be most vulnerable to being stuck up, and that's exactly what she does. She hands him the letter, holds him hostage until Link comes out, and they start negotiating who can come up, how they can do it. 5 unarmed men and an apple pie, and then Jane goes back, and she pretty much says, we got a deal. You have any thoughts about this negotiation, this upcoming negotiation, which I'm assuming is going to take place next episode, and what it is that Link really wants? Because we know, we'll talk about Dr. Gad, we know it has something to do with Alex.
Yeah.
How much of this is Sinatra really going to play into?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Sinatra knows who Link is.
You say you do think?
I do believe she knows who he is.
It would make sense.
Last week we saw her allude to, while she was talking to the first baby, that the world would be inhabitable again. We know that. She knows who Link is. I just don't know if she knows exactly what he and the rest of the militia are there for, and what good it would be, what good they are in the bunker at this point, if y'all been surviving all this time out there. I think she may be a little unsympathetic to whatever the demands are. I don't know that she's going to meet any of his demands once they're in here, but I do think she wants to get an eye on Link and the fellas and see exactly what the fuck is up. See exactly what they want, and then determine from there. if she's going to do it her way or not. That's what I think.
I keep forgetting that, and it was a good reminder during that board meeting. Nobody else knows that there's outside life.
Right.
You know what I mean? We know
Right.
because we've been spending most of our season outside, and we knew it from
Uh-huh.
last year.
Uh-huh.
But with them bouncing back and forth in between the bunker and outside, you kind of forget, like, oh, this is
Yeah.
we're not expecting this is the last thing, so it is a
Mm-hmm.
much bigger deal. So that to everything you said, it makes me wonder how Sinatra's going to play this because she knows there's people out there, and it makes me wonder exactly what Link is going to do,
Yeah.
and what their plan is. We'll talk a little bit more about it as we get towards the end of this episode and talk about next week. But I did also want to mention the last thing with Jane.
For sure.
I know we talked about Gab, Dr. Gab coming and kind of telling her from a meeting with Robinson that she had. I know you're the one. I know you're the one pulling the strings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, handling deeds for Sinatra doesn't end up well. At this point, she got her Nintendo Switch. She got the Atta girl that she's been looking for. You go through Sinatra, you gotta go through me.
Yeah.
So I'm letting you know that right now. And we also saw Jane lift her hair up to look like
Sinatra.
Sinatra's and kind of talk to herself the same way she was talking to Climby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want no smoke with that woman, man. You gotta put her down.
Jane crazy as hell. I'm trying to
You
tell
gotta
y'all.
put her down, man. Seriously. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. Anything else about Jane?
No, I was underwhelmed. I was underwhelmed by her backstory.
Oh.
That's it. It was very predictable to me. I think I'm more interested in Xavier.
Yeah. So I say we end the episode with Xavier
Uh-huh.
because that's gonna take us into episode 7.
For sure.
But outside of the Jane of it all, we kind of touched on most of the other things. Dr. Gab, as I mentioned, she's doing some research on Alex. I thought it was just her going through the archives and just searching Alex and finding other conversations as they're going back and forth between, Alec and Alex Trebek and
Alex
Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Just remembering those good times, you could tell there really was a relationship and a world that was present before all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then she heard another conversation about Alex, and Sinatra was concerned about turning into the person she needed to save people. And Dr. Gab doesn't know what that means, but she knows it's got to do something. That's got to be the Alex that's being mentioned. Remember, everybody, she bugged that picture frame in Sinatra's office, so that's how she's even getting this information. And then she meets with Robinson underneath and tells her, I know you didn't do it, which we all know that obviously as viewers,
Right.
but she tells Robinson she didn't do it. Wants to know if Robinson knows anything about Alex. You got to help me. Obviously, Robinson gave the classic black answer. I ain't got to do shit but stay black and die.
Crazy one.
Like, I'm already down here. Y'all framing me for everything. And I feel Robinson, y'all, the system is made for me to lose right now.
Yeah.
Like, so I really don't care. She isn't interested when Dr. Gab persists, but Robinson did tell her Jane's the problem. We kind of talked about that. And she told her, like, she's nothing like I've ever seen before, which once again, you given this big bad boogeyman, Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs, you're given this big bad bully bad guy, and I just don't see Jane like that. Yes, she's a problem, but I don't see her as a major threat. I don't see her as Thanos. Like, I don't think Xavier can't take her out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think so either. But because she is the one low-key running shit behind Sinatra, and consider, even if not physical strength or like brutality, even though she is a little brutal, Jane has had Sinatra's ear for God knows how long. So even if you can beat her, quote unquote, essentially, Jane knows the plays. Jane knows what's up, except for whatever Sinatra is coming up with recently, whatever her recent thoughts or discoveries are. But up to this point and up to the shooting, Jane knows Sinatra's moves. So that makes her inherently more dangerous. Whatever you can do tactically, physically, now here you are schematically. with the plays that we don't know. Element of surprise. You
You
got the
know what
drop
it
on all of us. Hmm.
you know what it is. I think you just explained it. It's Jane was operating under anonymity for the
Hmm.
longest. Now that we know and Robinson knows, and now Dr. Gab knows, because Xavier doesn't even know,
Right.
right? Xavier left thinking that Jane was looking out for him.
Hmm.
I feel like now that the secret's out there, the solution is we got the drop on Jane. Let's just take her out. I don't know if Jane can do anything about that, or if she's even thinking about it. I don't know. I'm not gonna. The show knows what it's doing. What it's doing. Excuse me. Um, I'm just trying to figure it out and see the pieces come together. Because I'm just immediately saying let's just figure something out. But everybody locked up, so you can't do
That you
nothing.
took the words. I was gonna say, but who truly has to drop on Jane? Robinson is in that basement. Xavier is out in the world. Dr. Gab, what the fuck she gonna do?
Nothing.
Psychologizer?
Yeah, nothing.
The other Secret Serviceman is babysitting these kids getting disrespected. Like there's nobody that can move, and especially since Robinson was dumb enough to include that text message. Maybe it was tactical. I don't think so, but maybe it was to include her text message to the rest of the agents in a group chat with Jane. What the fuck are we doing? You're the leader.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have the wherewithal to keep her out of it or to create a side chat.
That's a fact. But it had to be. It had to be on purpose.
On you. That's what makes me think maybe it was, but what the fuck if it wasn't? What if
Well,
it wasn't?
we'll talk about that as well when we get to Xavier, because all that stuff we talked last week, we're kind of in the same thing. So I don't know. I do want to talk really before we get to Xavier and Gary. I want to talk about Presley. I want to talk about jail, Paradise Jail. So Presley, as you said, Presley got she grown. Presley grown now. Mama gone, daddy gone. She talking to these agents all types of way,
Yeah.
wondering why they ain't doing nothing. Yeah, my boyfriend. I'm like, oh, boyfriend. We done moved to boyfriend level. So Presley and James are under supervision by Secret Service. Presley's upset nobody's doing anything about Robinson, who was the only other ally they really had now that Xavier's gone. Her boyfriend and other people are disappearing. Tells them to go ahead and do their job. She got shit to do. We see her at the diner with her friend, and she sees Sinatra's daughter Hadley come in. And Presley presses her about her mom. Your mom ain't who you think she is. This place ain't what you think it is. Yeah, and it's just like, all right, Presley ain't taking no shit this season. And she tells her she needs to look into things. And we see Hadley's not dismissing this. Mm-hmm. She wants to know. We even see her later on in the episode, and I wonder if Jane was on the outside listening and we didn't see it. But Hadley out here asking her, are you Sinatra? Why was your name up in the board? What does this mean? And Sinatra trying to tell her, it's not what you think it is. We all good. But Presley, Hadley said she sent a text message to Presley in the middle of the night saying, I know where the people are. They're underground. I know where to get them. You down. So we know that's going to be coming. Hadley's stepping up to the plate, which obviously is going to cause some kind of backlash between Jane, Sinatra, somebody. Any thoughts on that before we go to jail?
Yes, for sure. I'm sorry, y'all. My voice is going. Is Hadley playing her mother? I think that she went with Presley a little too easily. Maybe you're not as innocent as you've let on either. Not that Hadley has done anything illegal, but maybe she knows a little bit more about her mother than we've let on, or that even Sinatra even thinks. Because this is our first, we saw Hadley as a little girl last, but she's not had any screen time. Really, we don't know what her psychology is. We don't know her principles, her ethos. But then now you talk to Presley one time because you admitted y'all weren't friends. You didn't talk like that. if at all. Not if I have to introduce you to. It's only 2,500 of us down here.
And she even said like, we haven't had a chance to talk.
So the fact that after this one introduction, you're willing to help me find Robinson, help me get Jeremy ass out of this jail too, it makes me think that there's more to Hadley than we initially thought. And even with Sinatra's husband, again, flashbacks to them meeting. You're gonna ruin my life, aren't you? Okay, we saw Sinatra go deal with the loss of their son. He had to take care of Hadley while she was incapacitated.
You're right.
Maybe in that caretaking, he has let some things slip that maybe he wouldn't have said otherwise, just about her lack of presence. Now you went from just being a chick in a bar to being like the third richest person in the world overnight, seemingly,
Yeah.
They say it's no ethical billionaires. There was this normal ass man trying to have a normal ass life, and here's this woman who becomes a billionaire before his eyes.
Behind every great fortune
over there.
Yeah, behind every great fortune is a great crime.
Sure.
That you make up great points, and I can see them doing it like that. So one thing I didn't know before going into this whole series, for those of you out there, I never watched This Is Us. I never watched it. I know it's something that needs to be rectified, but I never watched This Is Us.
Wow.
Same creator, some of the same people. But I happened to have a conversation with Spike Lee about this season. Shout out to Spike Lee. And he mentioned like, well, they did this a lot in This Is Us, where they have the flash forward, flashbacks, random people just getting these 20, 30 minutes that you never met, and then it turns into something else. He said, so a lot of This Is Us plays into Paradise. And what you just said made me think of that, because what if we do get a scene where dad and daughter, because we don't get a lot of dad either. We know he's down there. We just saw him episode 3 or whatever it was. Where is he? What's he doing? Who's he talking to? Like, what's going on? Like, for him to be a character that we know is around, we haven't got a much of him. And it makes me wonder, is there a scene that happened between that diner and that text message? Because you're right, Rachel. What happened to where you automatically, was something said that Hadley might have heard as far as she knows where they are now? I don't know. Maybe it's one of those flashback scenes we get in one of these next 2 weeks. We'll see. But it is something that I thought a little bit of what you were saying, like, Hadley, are you that naive? Your family is going through some, well, that, and your family's going through a lot, with the loss of your brother, and just this whole move, and your mom being the one with the target on her back, and your mom being shot. And we saw how hesitant you were about her even going back to work and telling Jane, like, make sure nothing happens to her. So it doesn't give me any indication that she would immediately want to turn on her mom. We see she's concerned about her. So something had to happen. Like, you had to get some new information somewhere. Because most trauma families, especially when the trauma's from an outside source, they're more likely to stick together versus one turning their back on the other.
Maybe in her quest to protect and know more about her mom, she followed her to the gallows secretly.
Does Hadley, she have that kind of tact? I don't know.
She probably
Jane.
Probably
I think
not.
It's the dad. I like your theory on the dad. I like the dad, like, just having a conversation, because they probably, her and her dad are probably way closer than her and her mom.
Yeah.
Like, we saw I can't remember Sinatra's real name, if it's Jen or whatever the case is, but we saw her checked out.
Yeah.
Understandably so, but we saw it. And now that she's the one in power and the one in charge down here, duty calls. You probably ain't at home a lot. They even talked about it in episode 3, I believe, when they said her being shot was one of the best things for their time. She's finally at home and she's finally back. So I don't know.
This is what we got. And she has a TBI. She's probably not quite the same. So even though she's having these conversations with Jane, Sinatra is probably a little bit more open or loose than maybe she would be prior to her TBI, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's a great point.
oh
Great
no.
point. Um, we go to jail, Paradise Jail, which is down underneath, way down in the jungle deep. Um, Jeremy Bradford's talking to the architect, the person who got this whole place together, the bunker, to see if he can help them break out.
Mm-hmm.
Gives him the runaround, but then tells him, Jeremy's like, man, fuck this dude. But then he tells Jeremy, there's an oxygen supply, and if it's shut out, the doors will open. You can't just open doors here, but if you shut that down, they'll automatically open. There's a manhole that's not welded. I know exactly where it is. We know Robinson is down there. She peeped Jeremy as soon as she got down there.
Yeah.
She's kind of eavesdropping, keeping an eye, because we know, and this is going to come up here soon, we know that Robinson loved Cal. Like, they had a thing. We know that Cal,
What's in your damn side piece, nigga?
hey, pretty much. Hey, nigga, stop playing, stop disrespecting me. Hey. So Robinson sees Jeremy, and he's a kid. So
Yeah.
kids are obvious, even when they don't think they are. She sees it. She's a special agent. Like,
Mhm.
he pretty much tells her, like, I don't need a lecture from hey, this is why she reacted. I don't need a lecture from one of my dad's side pieces.
Crazy.
His side piece, she was offended.
One
Understandably so.
of.
One of.
Who else in that room?
I'm surprised she didn't ask who else was around. Like,
Yeah,
describe them.
who else?
But that was a great Andy Dufresne reference from Shawshank Redemption. If you've never seen that movie, it's just a guy who's pretty much spends his entire prison sentence trying to get out.
Mhm.
And we see Jeremy trying to do the same, but he's very obvious about it. And later on, even though Jeremy's dogged her, she's looking out her window of her cell. This is a very cushy jail for all y'all. Very
I mean,
loose. And she's the director. She knows all the guards. Like, I was y'all boss.
I was y'all boss, and not that I helped build this shit, but I know I was putting people down here. Also, remember they were very strategic, quote unquote, in the people selected to come to the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the librarian, ain't no hard criminals down here.
Right.
So we need to have some sort of like drunk tank or whatever, but for the most part, they care.
Agreed. That's what it is. And that's what Robinson's able to get out. She knocks out Brooks, apologizes, sorry, knocks him out because she saw the guard approaching Jeremy and the architect. He finally comes in. Robinson knocks him out, gets him up out of here. And then one of my favorite moments of the episode, no questions, no statements, just wants him to know, hey, I wasn't no fucking side piece. Like, put some respect on my name. I wasn't that.
Please
Now,
stop.
if y'all gonna do this, y'all need my help. Here we go. And they're on to their own journey about trying to open up these doors. Obviously, that's something that will come into fruition the next episode. But the big thing that we're going to end our episode with, and that the show ended there with, is Xavier and Gary. So we had a big pivot from last episode, where episode 5, we spent a ton of time with Gary. We spent a ton of time with outside of the bunker. Xavier met Gary, that whole nine. We start the episode where we end episode 5 with Xavier giving the game plan of how he's going to get Terry out. Doesn't need Gary to do anything, but Gary has questions about why are you putting it at that location? How are you going to pull this off?
Yeah.
Now, going back to what you said and what I've seen some comments about with this episode in particular, the writing was kind of clunky. It just didn't feel, not that it was bad, it was just misplaced in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
A good example of this is Xavier telling this story about the train tracks and his son being in the train tracks. I understand the symbolism and just things needing to come to a head. I understand what they were doing. But in that moment, realistically, it didn't seem like the time for that speech. Like, you just found out your wife is here. Do you really give that moment of, when my son was younger, he liked I just think you go for it. I don't know. It just felt out
Because
of place.
you've got to figure out what type of time Gary is on. Yes, he's helping you, but you've got to keep him as unassuming as possible. I think Xavier knew Gary was going to turn up and change the plan. That's why the device wasn't planted yet.
All right, hold on. So let's talk real quick about what we mentioned last week, which was Xavier being on high alert,
Mhm,
being very strategic, very tactical.
mhm.
We felt that he was luring Gary into this trap,
Yeah.
right? I don't think that was the case. I said the only thing that you can get away with is him being so emotional about finding his wife that kind of
Judgment
his
is so.
principles, yeah, it throws him off. When he saw that picture and realized everybody in the picture was looking at the camera except for Gary, who was looking at his wife. And this is coming
Mhm.
when Gary's like, pretty much his verbal manifesto. As Xavier's giving his verbal manifesto as far as, you know, if something happens to me, tell my wife I came here to look for her, tell her our children are in Colorado, they're safe. Please make sure you take care of her. And that's when Gary says, that's all I ever wanted to do. That's when he notices the picture and is like, oh, this nigga really loves my wife. He really trying to take me out to get me out the picture. And that's when the bomb goes off.
That's all
And
I
we,
ever wanted. That's all I ever wanted.
I'm sorry. Like, hey, Gary crazy. Gary crazy. He's really about to blow that man up.
For
And
his
we see Xavier survive the attack.
Mhm.
And we see Terry run out. First question, I just gotta ask you: is he hallucinating or is this real? Because
I
remember,
believe
I didn't think Terry was on the train. We thought she might have been kidnapped by Gary and tucked away somewhere. So is this real?
I think it is real.
So now I have. So here's my question now. Here's my question now. What the fuck did Gary do to where he can't be on this train or can't be with these people? Because if he knows where she is and she's in love with him or he's in love with her, then wouldn't you think he would have been with her or still trying to play the friend role?
Bean saw him kill Ennis.
Yeah, I remember that. Where
Bean
Bean at?
told Terry, well, he don't need to come out for the bomb. He might have either ran away. And
Did Gary
remember,
get Bean too? Did Gary see Bean looking in the back line and
he
said,
might have. He might have.
okay, ooh, I don't know if he got Bean or not, but let's say he did, which
Uh-huh.
is not beyond Gary at this point.
Right.
I don't know if I can see Gary killing a kid, but let's just say he can.
Hmm.
What I can't see is Gary killing Terry.
Correct. He
Maybe
loves
Terry
her.
finds out, like maybe Terry puts two and two together, like, oh, you killed these people. You the one doing all of this. Because remember,
Hmm.
the whole reason he killed Ennis is because Ennis knew she can just go with these people on the train. She doesn't even need this oil or this fuel, whatever she was looking for.
Yeah.
Gary's trying to keep her around. She puts it together. Since he doesn't have the ability to harm her, hey, stay away from me. If you come near her, I'll tell everybody what you did and they'll take you out. So maybe he's just doing that. We still don't know much about Gary and what his whole thing is. I know he wants Terry, but I don't know why he was at that post office and waiting for. Like he knew where she was the whole time. I don't know. I don't know. I have more
He
questions than
knew,
answers.
or maybe he was unsure. Maybe he thought she was there, but couldn't.
He ain't losing sight of her. That nigga's obsessed.
He is. He is. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Um, I don't know. Uh, Terry knows Gary crazy as hell. She got the fuck on. Whether Bean told her about the shooting or whether Bean's alive or not, maybe Bean and Ennis disappearing triggered Terry to be like, mm-mm. Even if she didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Even if she doesn't know how Ennis died, something is afoot here. You the only one, you the only witness. Everybody else is gone. And we still haven't talked about all of the other liars who were in that post office. Where the hell did everybody else go? And why did they
So
leave?
so all in all, because that's pretty much this episode. We
Yeah.
covered everything that happened. All in all, Rachel, this is a transitional episode.
Uh-huh.
Um, probably is not probably it is on the bottom half of the episodes this season. I'm still very much season two. I'm a fan. I love what's going on. But we know that this is to set up the last two episodes of the season.
Next week is penultimate. That's your shit.
That's my shit. And last season one's penultimate, if y'all remember,
For
that was the
sure.
day, which I still believe is the best episode in the entire series.
For sure.
The day we saw everything go down. We know Paradise was renewed for season 3. The announcement came today, today as far as the day we're recording. I don't know if you were aware if we talked about this. Paradise was meant to be a trilogy. So
Yes.
season 3, I believe, is the finale. That should be it. And there has to be big things coming these last 2 episodes. There has to be. These 2 episodes have to, at least the next one. If they stay true with last season, I think we're going to get a lot of stuff done. And maybe a lot of the questions that we're asking are answered next week, at least in the finale. And then we can take it from there. But I don't know. Did you have anything else? Any other thoughts?
I don't want to caution with this voice.
Well, I do want to shout out. I meant to do this at the beginning. I want to shout out Public Enemy B. Shout out to our guy, man. Yeah, absolutely. He's a big supporter of a lot of stuff that we have going on. But he wrote a comment on our Paradise episode. Incredible writing on the show. Season 2 has been great. Episode 4 was my favorite so far. And the twist on episode 5 was great. The little hints throughout the episode were well done. So we appreciate you. Continue to write in, leave comments, leave your thoughts. We will include them in the episode, probably at the top of the episode if I remember to check before we start talking. But let us know what you think. Not a ton of action. Let us know what you think about Jane. If you wanted more on her as well. If anything that Rachel and myself are talking about when it comes to Hallie and her dad, or connecting some of these pieces. If Xavier's hallucinating about Terry, I want to know what this conversation is like, what Gary's really hiding. There's so much that we don't know yet that we're hoping to get the answers to. Please let us know your thoughts. With that being said, Rachel, anything else with the fading voice?
Guys, thank you so much for listening, for watching. Hopefully I'll be full voice next week. Thank you, Kieron, for holding us down.
You already know. You already know.
Because it was feeling real tricky about 15 minutes in.
We got it done, though. We got y'all.
We got y'all.
And I got you.
Thank you. I love y'all. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll make a reel for real this week. Thank y'all. Peace.
We out, y'all. Catch y'all next week.
Don't get to know you.
Peace, man.